I'm doing a little bit of benchmarking for this SQLite course that I have coming up, highperformanceSQLite.com. It is going to be very good. What I need from these benchmarks is I need like 1,000,000 random values, but when I'm comparing two things, I kind of want the random values to all be the same, which is not random actually. So what I'm looking for is a random generator that produces repeatable randomness, and I can change it. So I can, if I want to run a new benchmark, I can just change the random values. We can do that in Laravel. Let me show you how. The two things I want to control: lottery odds. Let's say we'll just make it 5 out of 10. Choose 10 times. So this gives you a random yes, no, on, off, and you can use it to control certain things. So if I were to run this over here, random, you'll see a bunch of trues, a few falses, a true, and some falses. But if you run it again, it is random. That's the whole point of a lottery, is to choose at random. The other thing I want to control is this one right here. So if we wrap that guy up and we say, I want that to be repeatable. Now, you can pass through like a sequence of random values to some of these helpers, and it will choose from that sequence. I don't want to do that because I want literally like 1,000,000 random values, and I don't want to construct 1,000,000 random values. I just want them to be repeatable. Let's figure out how. The first thing I'm going to show you, we're going to start super basic. So you have this MTSRand thing, and this will let you seed the Mersenne twister random number generator. And then if you do MTRand between 1 and 10, this is always going to come out to the same thing given the same seed. So if you run that over and over and over, you get 6 over and over and over. But if you were to change the seed, the first value is going to be different. And this is great because it's not just that it gives you the same number, it just gives you the same way of generating the numbers. So you can see they're still random numbers, but they are predictably random in that for a given seed, you will always get the same output. You'll always get the same first number, the same first 4 numbers, etc. So that is the way that we're going to seed the random number generator, and that is going to serve as the basis for generating predictably random strings and predictably random lottery results. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to do this globally because this is going to mess everything else up. So to reset this, you can reset it by just doing a null. And so if we were to change this to dump, so we'll dump 1 and then we'll dump another out below, we would expect the first one to always be the same. So this should be constant, and this should actually be random. So if we clear this and run it again, we should see 9, 7, 9, 3, 9, 1. So you're always going to get 9, and then you switch back to a pure random after you reseed the function with a null. So we want to wrap that up so that we don't pollute anywhere else in the code that is using this random function stuff. So we do need to wrap that up pretty tightly. All right, let's start with string. Create random strings using. So there's the sequence where you could just like pass in an array. We don't want to do that. That's no fun. That's nonsense. So thank you, Laravel, for giving us this factory function. So I can say length and then return. We'll just return foo. And now if I were to say, let's get rid of all of this, random. Make sure we have control. All right, we have control. We are off to a good start. All right, first thing I want to do, let us seed it predictably. MT seed rand with 1, and then do some stuff, and then undo that so that we don't muck it up. Seed with, there we go. So we're going to keep that scoped locally, and then we can have a set of characters, and we'll just recreate just like that, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Hopefully there's a way to do, I don't want to make you watch that again. So if we were to do, what is it? Ooh, switch case, screaming snake case. There we go. Hey, you didn't have to watch it. Now we're going to take that set of characters and then build up a random string based on that. So we can say that string is nothing, and for I equals 0, I is less than length, I plus plus, and then in here we are going to say, what are we going to do? Let's do string dot equals, we need to pick a random value out of, so we'll say characters, and then we're going to grab from 0 to strlen characters less 1. That's not right. We want characters empty rand with those. That should pick a random character out of that string and append it. Let's see if we're close. So does this, let's call, string random down here. We can just return it. So we'll return string. And let's see. Hey, look at that. It worked. That worked first try, literally first try. That's kind of awesome, feeling good. All right, so we have a repeatable random string. What happens if we call it a couple of times? I think if we call it a couple of times within the same life cycle, we're gonna see, it's a little bit too repeatable, isn't it? Got too excited about that working first time thing. Okay. So the reason that happened is we reset, actually we didn't. We reset but we fully set it in the first place. So it's always being set to 1. So it's always going to generate the same string. So let's say static seed equals, 1. And we'll seed it with seed. And before we reset, so that it is still predictable, we're going to grab a new number to be the seed the next time, and then we will reset it. So first time around, we're going to set seed to 1, and then seed the random number generator with 1, build up a random string, and then we'll reset the seed the next time. So if that worked, predictable but still random, and if for your edification, if we were to dump seed, you see that the seeds always stay the same because we're using the seeded number generator to generate our next seed, which I gotta admit, that's kind of awesome. Okay, I feel like that's good. That seems, the only thing we don't have here is I don't have the ability to manually set the seed. So like once I'm done running the benchmark with this set of data, I don't want to come in here and be like, all right, let's try it with a different set of data and see if it's any different. So I'll need to think about that. We'll have to figure that out. I think that is fixable. I think what I'm going to probably do is set the seed somewhere globally and then pull it in for this function, but let's keep going. Let's look at the lottery class now. Let's go poke around in the lottery class. So we've got lottery set result factory, which I think is what we're looking for. This sets a static result factory used to determine the lottery results. That is exactly what we're looking for. And what is the result factory by default? We need to find, this looks like yep. So the result factory will give back the static, or it'll give this closure. So I think this is a good place to start. Let's start with that as our result factory. So it looks like it takes chances and out of. So chances and out of, so we can return out of equals null, and then they're using random int, which is not seedable. So what we're gonna do, empty rand. So we're just gonna change that, and then we're gonna do something similar here. We're gonna set the seed, and then reset it and unset it. So then result is going to equal that, and return result. So I think this should work. We've changed it to use the seeded random function. We've seeded it, we're setting it, we're reseeding it, we're unseeding it, we're returning. All right, cool. Let's do lottery odds are, let's do 3 out of 10, choose 10 times. So if we clear this out and then, all right, so what are the true ones? 3 and 7. I think that's it. So 3 and 7, 3 and 7, 3 and 7. Cool. We've done it. We have successfully controlled the randomness. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up into something a little bit nicer. Let's say we want to put app macro. I would put these individually as macros, but the lottery class isn't macroable, which is kind of surprising, but that's fine. So we'll say initialize repeatable randomness. That's nothing if not verbose. And then here's an idea. Why don't we pass a seed through here? This is kind of clever. I'm not gonna lie. Initialize repeatable randomness, and let's put both of these guys. Let's put both of these guys in here. And so now these are not going to be set unless you call initialize repeatable randomness. And let's call this one reset randomness. Let's stick with the verbose. Reset repeatable randomness, and we'll close that out. And what we can do here is say lottery determine, and create normally. And all that this is going to do is it's just going to null out those it's going to null these out. So if we determine, it sets the factory to null. And if we look at create normally, it sets the string factory to null. So this will undo everything that we've done down below, but I just had a great idea. All of my ideas are, that's not true. They're not all great. This one is great. So something I was saying earlier is there's no way to reseed this. So like if I wanted to move on to a new data set, there's no way to reseed it. But now there is. So instead of setting hard coding it to 1, what we can do is seed the randomness out here, and then we're going to scroll down and reseed it to 0, to null. And then what we can do is in here, we can start with a random seed. No, we want a random seed between, I don't care. Is that right? Why is that not right? Oh, it's not allowed as a static initializer. Bummer. Seed equals null. Seed equals seed. I think that should do it. So what I've done here is I'm first going to seed the random number generator with the seed that I pass in. That should go away. With the seed that I pass in. And then inside here, I'm picking a random number, but it's seeded. So it's going to be the same random number every time as long as the seed doesn't change. And then I reseed it. Yeah. I reseed it with that random. All right, so let's do that down here as well. So I think that is right. I don't know where what did I do? I deleted the wrong thing. Yeah, so let's seed this there. Yep, that's good. Seeds, empty, and empty. Yeah, okay. So with any luck, let's do this. Let's say, well, let's first prove that we've undone everything. So string random of 16 and lottery, let's just say 1 out of 2 and choose 6. So let's clear this out. So we get YRT and a bunch of trues in the middle. And then, yep. So we're back to fully random. We're back to fully random. So we've undone everything. Then app, what's the name of this function? Initialize repeatable randomness. with no seed because seed should default to 1. And then let's see if we get repeatable randomness. HIZ, and then true, true, false, true, true. No, we didn't. We didn't get repeatable randomness. This is interesting. I wonder why. Okay, so let's say we've seeded it. I know exactly why. We need to set the seed while it is seeded. Okay, this is insane. Okay, I know exactly why this didn't happen. Because all we did here is we set the seed, we registered these functions, and then we unset the seed, but we never called the functions. So, which means that these seeds inside of here never got set, and when it did come time to set it, we're using an unseeded random function. So, all we need to do down here is say str random, and lottery, we can just make up choose, no, lottery odds, doesn't matter, choose. And that should seed the static, or that should set the static seed inside of there. So if we clear that out and KD, and then a bunch of trues and a false, KD, oh no, lottery didn't work. So the string worked. The string worked, but the lottery didn't work. It seems like the lottery is not working. Let's see if we can figure out why the lottery is not working. I wonder if it's because that doesn't seem like it should be it. No. Okay. So that's not it at all. What did I do wrong in the lottery function? Got it. Here's the problem. Okay, so we have to follow the seeding of the random thing. I seed the random up here with the given seed. Then all I do is register some functions, right? All I do is register some functions, and then I call those functions, and then I reset the seed to be nothing. The problem is when I call this str random function, what does it do? It resets the seed to be nothing. And then by the time I choose lottery odds, we're back to a fully random number up here because the seed has been deleted. So all I need to do to fix this is seed it, reseed it, and then we're off to the races. So let's do, 1 out of 2, choose 6. This should make lottery stable. True, false, false, true. True, false, false, true. True, false, false, true. Okay, and it should make random stable as well. Yep. True, false, false, true. True, false, false. Cool. Now, this should change it, but make it stable still. So it definitely changed it. We went from KD to HY, and we went true, bunch of false, true, but it should be stable. HY, true, bunch of false, true. Cool, okay. And then if we were to app, why did I name them so long? Reset, repeatable, random. These should all be random for real. So we should see a set of stable ones. I'm just going to choose 3, and then a set of fully random ones. HY is stable, QV is random, HY is stable, I7 is random. Yep, we did it. So we fully encapsulated it. The only thing that we haven't really done is if somebody else has seeded the random number generator, by registering this, we're going to come in and basically wipe that out, null it out. I don't know, man. I think I'm fine with that. I don't think I need to reseed it back to what it could potentially be seeded to. But if you disagree, let me know in the comments. There might be a way to read the seed out. Gosh, is there a way? Is there a way to get the seed out? Oh my goodness. Seed it, generate. No, I don't think there's a way to get the seed out no matter what. So alias of mtsrand. Yeah, there's no way to get it back out. So we're just going to leave it there. I think that is tidy enough for me. The one edge case we're leaving wide open. That's fine with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It's kind of another Code With Me style video. Let me know if you like the Code With Me style videos. Until the next time, see ya.